平服せよ。
Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. We all love a good hero, especially in anime. A typical struggle the hero has involves the villain of the story, and without a good villain, the story and in turn the entire show can suffer. With that said, let's take a look at 2019's best anime villains. We start off with Joker from Fire Force. A running theme for villains is manipulation and playing their cards to get what they want. And not too many are better than Joker at this. He's sly and intelligent in the way he operates and does what he needs to do, even involving innocent people in his evil schemes. Joker excels at hand-to-hand combat as shown in one of the best Fire Force moments, and also has the ability to manipulate flames. While he isn't always in the spotlight and maybe doesn't get as much screen time as other characters, he no doubt plays a big part in Fire Force's popularity.
うまくやれ。
12の鬼神に言う。我が名は醍醐景光。加賀の国守護職、富樫正親様の配下にして、この石川領領主である。
Next up we have Daigo Kagemitsu. By no means is it a requirement to have a connection with the hero of the story, but it makes the story a whole lot more entertaining when this is done well. Daigo is Hyakimaru's father, but that's by nothing more than birth. When we first see him, he's making what seems to be at first a tough decision for the greater good of his village by sacrificing the life of his firstborn child to bring prosperity to his land. As the story goes on, you see the complete disrespect and disregard for life Daigo has. He's abusive to his wife Nui no Kata, say that 3 times fast, and pays little attention to his second son. A lot of villains on this list are likable characters, even in the midst of their evil actions, but I think it's pretty safe to say no one cares for Daigo Kagemitsu of Dororo.
面白くなってきたじゃないか。
Coming in at number 8 is Toichiro Suzuki. Powers and ability are a good starting point when creating characters. They can truly define the makeup of a character, but there's more to character writing than that. Mob's a great protagonist and main character because he doesn't lean on his abilities, and that's fascinating to see. But me, and I'm sure many fans alike, were curious to see what would happen if Mob fully embraced his psychic powers. Enter Toichiro Suzuki, the villain in Season 2 of Mob Psycho. He allows us to explore a different side of the life of an Esper, and an extremely powerful one at that. Naturally, with all this power, he becomes arrogant in his ways and plans to take over the world with his organization, Claw. The showdown between him and Mob alone is enough to get him to this list, so it's no surprise he clocks in as one of 2019's best villains. Of course, an Attack on Titan villain was going to make the list, and it was just a question of who, and we've gone with Zeke Yeager. What makes good villains are their defining traits as a character and their motives, and Zeke knocks it out of the park on both ends. From the beginning, he's presented as a character who's curious, but by no means dumb. Being smart and intelligent, he works for no one but himself, no matter how it may appear. He's the former captain of Marley's warrior unit assigned to take the founding Titan from the Eldians of Paradise Island. He's the current inheritor of the Beast Titan and considered by Reiner to be the strongest warrior on the Titan side of things. Without diving into spoilers, just know Zeke's a villain that has every Attack on Titan fan with their ears up and their eyes open. The common trope in shonen anime is to make a new villain for every arc, so when a villain lasts multiple arcs, there's usually something special about them. Here's where Tsukasa from Dr. Stone comes in. Good villains need good plans and motives, and naturally Tsukasa does. His goal is to thin out the human population to create a new world without modern technology, citing how humanity's evolved caused them to become evil. Sounds simple enough. His character is interesting because he was initially presented as a violent pessimist, but as he evolves, you see how polite he is outside of these pessimistic beliefs. So clearly with these big goals, you need the means to accomplish said goals. He was able to kill the leader of a pride of lions with a single punch, scarring the rest of the pride. He also managed to cut down a tree with a single strike from his stone sword, a tree which Senku said weighed 1 ton. So yeah, let's just say Tsukasa isn't a villain to be taken lightly.
だ生きてる。エマもレイも幼いわ。私の可愛い子供たち。
It's not often in shonen anime that female characters get the spotlight, so it's refreshing that Isabella from Promised Neverland hits the scene. Promised Neverland's a new anime, but that didn't stop Isabella from being one of 2019's best villains. Isabella's a visualization of a 360 character. When introduced as the caretakers of our main cast of orphans, she's shown as caring and kind, but we know something's a little off. I mean, just look at how she smiles. It's quite creepy, actually. It gives me the creeps. So when it turns out she's twisted, not too many were surprised, but it's when the orphans finally escape that the real twist comes. It turns out Isabella really does care for the orphans and wishes them the best. Stay safe if the world will permit it. I sincerely hope you all find light at the end of the tunnel. She's speaking to herself in this moment, and it becomes clear that she's speaking from a place of affection, which is what gets Isabella from Promised Neverland the number 5 spot.
嘘、てめえら皆殺しコースに変更はねえ。
だと思ったよ。ここで消えてなくなれ。
Next up is Garo. When One Punch Man is seen and heard about, the concept of a hero who can't lose seems a bit boring, and I don't blame you if that's what you think. But once you dive into the world of One Punch Man and look at the society and its colourful array of characters, it quickly becomes clear that there's a lot to love, and one of those many things is Garo. The self-proclaimed hero killer is a villain you can easily become hypnotized by and end up rooting for because he's just that good a character. Garo hates heroes because he believes villains and monsters have wants, and the fact that heroes get what they want and always win is unfair, so he makes it his mission to never lose. Now that I say it out loud, he kind of sounds like a little kid, doesn't he? Regardless of this, most fans agree the most fascinating thing about him is his incredible resolve and dominance. I mean, it's no Saitama dominance, but the guy's a freak. In a world based around the concept of heroes versus villains, you're bound to get some greats from both sides. I mean, come on, there's an entire group called the League of Villains. My Hero Academia has a wide cast of villains ranging from silly one-off characters to long-running villains who leave their print on the show. Overhaul holds the spot for a multitude of reasons. I mean, how could a villain this cool not make it to this list? Like some of his fellow villains on this list, Overhaul's simply ruthless in the way he operates. I mean, for God's sake, the man is literally sacrificing his daughter for evil doings, so I think I can speak for all of us when I say it doesn't get much worse than that. His quirk allows him to disassemble and reassemble anything he touches. Now, this doesn't exactly seem horrific on paper, but seen in action, it becomes clear just how deadly and sick this quirk truly is in his hands. Overhaul seen touching another person, which, as you guessed it, would disassemble them, basically causing the person's entire body to explode to a bloody puddle. It takes the idea of look but don't touch to a whole new level. The badass Askeladd makes it to number 2. Who'd have thought Japanese anime would tackle the concept of Vikings and knock it out of the park? Vinland Saga is one of the best anime of the year with an amazing concept. The most notable thing about Vinland Saga is for sure its cast. It has some of the most interesting on-screen characters, including Askeladd. Although Askeladd gives the impression of being weak, old, or not in control of his troops and enemies, he is the exact opposite. He uses deception to give his foes a false sense of overconfidence. He takes advantage of their lowered guard to secure an easy victory, and if that doesn't sound like an awesome villain, I don't know what to tell you. And finally, at the top, we have the one and only Muzan Kibutsuji from Kimetsu no Yaiba, better known in the West as Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is for sure one of the modern classics, and like all shonen greats, it has an amazing set of villains. Muzan Kibutsuji's a cold, heartless demon with no regard for his subordinates, much less human life. With that said, you can't help but love him. Wow, that vaguely sounds like my girlfriend. Anyway, when he was human, he was diagnosed with a disease that was set to kill him before he turned 20, until a doctor offered him medicine to cure the disease. In a fit of rage for the cure not working, Muzan kills the doctor, but afterwards, not only does he discover discovered that the medicine worked, he also finds it left him with superhuman strength. His abilities include regeneration, shape-shifting, telepathy, and the ability to control other demons. All things considered, Muzan was a no-brainer for a top villain in 2019. And with that, this list comes to an end. So what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments section below, and on your way down be sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any of my new uploads. I'll see you next time on TV Regent with yet another 2019 list soon. Goodbye.